Mikey, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
I've been hustling this morning.
Every
Fair
day,
enough.
isn't that a song? Every day I'm hustling.
As
Um,
today, for sure.
that's today's holidays. Hi, thank y'all for waking up so early.
Thank you.
Um, yeah, it's fine. It's early, not as early for me. Um, so I just wanted to tell you, thank you so much. I've been, on this job hunt, and I've been applying everything that I've learned in the last over a year now from you. And it was funny because I've had several interviews now, and as I'm speaking, it just sounded totally different. And I'm like, where is this even coming from? Just how I'm framing my stories, how I'm speaking, how I'm thinking, and it's just I stopped over the weekend and really thought about it and thought about how I'm applying everything, and I just want to express my gratitude because it's changing everything. Because I get into minutes and moments where I'm just like, oh man, I'm not it. You, it's just sometimes when it's like dating, you're like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I
you
do. For
ask
sure.
and then they say no, and you're like, oh my God, what's wrong with me? And so I just want to say thank you because I'm minutes and moments in that ego based consciousness of I'm not good enough or I'm not worthy, and so because
Just,
of
yeah, they're not good enough and they're not worthy. The job's not good enough and it's not worthy. The whatever it is isn't good enough. And you've elevated your vibration and frequency to raise an awareness of your vibration and frequency, where before, because you had an elevated frequency and awareness, that you blamed yourself. I almost analogize to a person that's on the spectrum, because they have such a heightened intelligence, right, awareness, that they don't fit in,
mhm,
right. They can do things that we can't do. They have superpowers,
yeah,
and that yet they, because of the way that our society has been set up, they feel ostracized or separate from or less than, when most people on the spectrum have, superpowers beyond, and yet we make them feel so. That's who you are. You may not be on the spectrum, but in your elevated vibration or awareness, and those are the people that feel left out.
that's beautiful. Thank you. I feel that, so thank you. And and I also wanted to just say I got to know, and I got to know from somebody, but she said that she would be happy to meet up with me and tell me why,
Yeah,
and feedback. And so I totally took her up on it. But she also said that she appreciated, quote in quotes, my persistent follow up. So I was so happy that she said no because she told me I was persistent. And I was
yeah,
like, that was a win. Like that, it shifted so much by being described as persistent because that's what I've been doing
yeah.
is being persistent. So just so much gratitude. And
Well,
so
it's the
my
common denominator of people that get what they want. Is persistent people get what they want. There's not
yeah,
one person that you may or may not look up to that isn't persistent, that has gotten what they want.
it's so true, and that just takes time. And I get it. I just feel like I just get it. Like applying all of this to something that I've done in I've had experience in of like looking for a job, but applying it in a different way has highlighted how much I've learned and grown. So it just helps me be so grateful. So I'm just super grateful. My question for you is, how do you, this is the one thing I've struggled with, how do you I get the persistence and patience, but how do you focus in on what you want but not be attached to the outcome emotionally?
Yeah, that's a
Oops, you stopped.
people's minds.
Oh, there you
Um,
go.
can you hear me? Okay.
Now you're good. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I was bringing. So I said,
Oh no, now you stopped again.
when we attach our emotions, it's our emotions to the outcome. Doesn't mean we don't have something that we want that's a milestone, and it's
Yeah.
better. The way that we figure out whether it's better is mistakes, failures, setbacks. All those things will determine whether it's better. This is
I'm
what I
sorry.
want personally, experientially. Given
It's a
Mike, is
little
it
choppy.
breaking up? Am I choppy for you, Mike Allen? Fair. Okay. Yeah, I'm on the internet, the hotel rooms. You want to attach your emotions to the milestone that you want. This is why taking them in your there you go. Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, so attach your in your attention and intention on what you want as a milestone. Then be open to something better. What it's going to take to get to and through that milestone. And you'll do all the activity that it takes, but you won't be you're open that the milestone's a marker of what you're aiming at, and you're going to end up somewhere better than that.
Sounds good.
Right.
Sorry, you're breaking up just a little bit, but I got the gist of it.
Here, hold on. Let me.
Do you want to try a hotspot?
Signal bars here.
Do
No.
you have good cell service at your hotel, dude? No? Okay.
Purposely left there. So. Can you see me okay, Cristina? Here, hold on.
No.
Here, let me see if it works with Laurie.
Okay.
Put Laurie in.
Yo, what's up? I know, it's all, excuse my language, sorry, not sorry, fucked up. No, because it wasn't working.
Yeah.
And Cristina, I mean, what's the chance? Of course, right? Her and I were like the little star gems. I think. That being said, hello, and yeah, now I'm embarrassed.
Now that's a good connection. Let me just finish to tell Cristina what I wanted to say is what I was saying.
Yeah,
was,
can you please? Because I wanted to hear what you were gonna say. Yes, please.
Yeah, so
yes,
the
please.
outcome.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
yes, please.
So your
Connect
outcomes
back to Cristina. No, connect back to Cristina.
No, let's
please.
keep it here. She can hear me. Let's keep it here because of the connection. So the outcome is a milestone. And if we have an open mind that we're going to end up somewhere better, we then can attach our emotions, our energy and motion towards getting to the milestone with an open mind that we're going to end up somewhere better. That's how you detach from an outcome, but still have goals by taking daily inventory of what I.
Yeah, see, it's again, no. Whatever hotel you're at, my friend, is not a good internet connection. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm gonna log
so
back.
Whatever.
I'm gonna log back in. It's better.
I was gonna say whatever hotel you're at is not
Marriott.
a good internet. Well,
yeah,
we need to get you. We need to get you better.
I left my hotspot to come here, so that's even worse. That's why I was.
I know. Well, you're always working, and I appreciate you greatly, and I know Christina does as well. So
All right, cool. All right, give me the thumbs up. So yeah,
all is good. All is good.
Yeah. All right, what question you have for me?
I have about focus. Because you always talk about focus, refocus, right? And as you were just saying, of course, the universe is amazing. Is that like Cristina was asking something and I felt like it segued in to the fact of like, I'm just trying to learn how to ground myself, right, in this 3D world while connecting with source and then understanding how I can actually focus in this 3D vessel. And I know that you get that, and I'm sure that sounds flipping crazy to most people, but I know that you understand, and I'm working through that process. So thank you. I appreciate your patience.
Yeah, whether it's a duality of focus from, this 3D world, which is based off of time, which is based off of the speed of light, or reconciliation of that time, which is based off of the speed of light with the speed of thought, which moves exponentially faster. We can't even imagine how fast the speed of thought moves, which I use and can indicate by, if you and I thought about 1,000 years ago, we could get there instantly, or 1,000 years in the future, we could get there instantly. But in the 3D world, we can't get there. So we know the speed of thought moves so fast. So refocus is really the key. Is we need to number one, identify the part of the brain, the way it feels for us to use the refocus part, because our brain uses one part of it to focus. We can only focus in on one thing at a time. And then if we practice refocusing from one thing to another, fast enough to gather enough data at the speed of light, while we're utilizing the exponential speed of thought, we can be more productive, provide more value. We can be more accessible for sure. We can do our emails, our text messages. We can train people all at once in the speed of light, and we can be more grateful. In other words, we have the capability of finding the light, finding the love, and finding the lessons. So when we start looking at it in the context of the two different speeds, and then utilizing those speeds to our favor, not to our detriment, because that's what happens when people think, they have attention deficit disorders and all these focus problems, or all it is really they're not thinking. They actually already have the superpower. Usually people, that are on the spectrum, ADHD, their brain's moving too fast. And so once they practice using the speed of the brain in order to effectuate going back, and in the concept, instead of trying to do two things at once or three things at once or everything at once, which comes on the brain. Well, when you realize, go back to center point, right? My conversation with Laurie is my center point. I'm looking at my phone. I'm looking at my text. I'm looking at my emails when I'm on the phone, right? And I actually felt interference when the internet wasn't working, because I was trying to do three things at once instead of refocusing. So I actually started to breathe and put myself into a refocus measure and started thinking of the solutions, gathering enough data in order to fix this. So I decided finally, all right, I'm going to drop off Cristina, drop myself off, and try this over again. So refocus is the key and answer to your question.
Okay, and that's fantastic. And I apologize, because my dog is driving me actually insane at the moment. And so I just put her up on the chair as she wanted to be. That being said, so that is really the core of my question, though, of like, can you tell me personally how to focus?
Refocus, first of all, not focus.
But give me, can you please? I know I'm a layman. Okay,
no,
so just like
no. So pick what you want to focus in on, and then.
But how do I do? No. How do I focus? I'm bringing it back.
No, listen instead of talk. First of all, you will not learn talking to me. So just to be fair, so listen to what I'm saying. Pick one thing that you want to focus in on, and then each time your mind wanders to something else, like your dog or wherever the starfish takes you, that first thing that you picked, it could be arbitrary and capricious, go back to it. Then go back to the other thing, then go back to the center. You get a feeling. It's a practice. I can't, it's like swinging a golf club. I can tell you where your hand should be, tell you where your wrist should be, but you're going to have to keep swinging until you feel your sweet spot, your swing, etc. But technically, one focus. When your mind goes somewhere else, go back to that original focus and keep practicing that, and you'll find where the wrists and arms of the brain should be, and you'll get better and better at it. The good news is that you're a natural at it, right? You actually have a lot more capability than most people. Just like some people can, hit the ball farther than other people the first time they go to a golf range, you'll be able to hit the ball farther.
Oh my goodness gracious. And you were so spot on. And I thank you so greatly, because you're so right. It's like, I'm asking you to tell me how to focus. It's like, that's a silly question.
No, you got it.
I don't say
question.
Stupid. I don't say stupid anymore. I don't say that anymore.
No,
it's just, but it is kind of a silly question, because I'm like, oh, I'm asking you to tell me how to focus. Like, really? So thank you. I love you
got it.
much.
That's a great
And
question.
thank you.
Love you too. Lots of people.
Mwah.
Thank you. Elliot.
What's up, Tio
Oh,
Dave?
what's up? What's up with that
Nothing.
energy? What's going on? You tired?
Oh, yeah, a little bit. We came back from Tampa last night, and then, like I told you, in 2 days, I'm back to New York. So I already text. But I do have a question. It's a crazy question. You know when? How do you know when to prioritize, and even if they're all good opportunities? Because I give you an example. You're doing office hours. You do your coaching business. You do a whole bunch of stuff. So I dominantly do real estate. And I'm in the middle of a roll up and taking a company public with a certain family that I can tell you in private that you will know because they're in the sports industry. But I get more opportunities are coming towards me, and I'm like, there's only 4 of us. I don't have a big staff. I have Emily, Nicola. I only have 4 people that are helping me. So like my time is limited. How do I know which are the best opportunities? Because I don't want to just take every opportunity. And what do you do to filter things out?
Yeah, well, that's the daily practices, right? So if you can't prioritize, then you haven't done the what, the who, the how work. So what do I want today, personally, experientially, giving and receiving wise? Who can I help and who can help me? Then being a student in your calendar, how can I get it done with the lenses of productivity, accessibility, and gratitude? Then prioritize by what's most important. See what happens when you have an abundant mindset. There's always too many things, too many opportunities. See, you've made a transformation from looking for deals to too many deals and too many opportunities.
It's stressful though.
It doesn't have to be, because that's a sign that you're abundant. That means that you have more than enough. That means you have more than enough. So what you want to do is start figuring out what's most important to you according to your what, who, and how. Then prioritize by what's most important, and then start figuring out systems to take care of overflow of things, to overlap agreements, referral agreements, or building within. There's either do it yourself or outsource it to give it away. You're in that transition between, okay, I need to prioritize what I want to do. That's best for me, experientially, right? What's best for me, giving and receiving wise. Now create a system, a downflow system to give away the rest of it, to internally hire more people or give it away externally and make a percentage.
Gotcha. Yeah. So that way I'm eliminating it. And then the second thing is, man, the other day I talked to you when I hang up. I told my wife, I said, "Shit, man, like he's right. I know you was right because you was like, I don't let interference. I don't jet lag." And I was like, "Man, I know you're right. I know you're right, Theo Dave. But how do I get there? How do I get my mind to get where you was at?" Because I was like, he's so right. I travel and I, compared to when you're like, "Oh, I don't get jet lag." I was like,
yeah. So for me, it's number one, shifting the paradigm to what's interfering with my health, wealth, worthiness, and happiness, right? So if I feel tired or I feel stressed, then I want to identify the trigger that's causing me to feel that way. Then I stop and breathe through my nose, out through my mouth, right? I drop down to that baseline at the beginning of the day that I plateaued and grew at. And then I go back to the what, the who, the how, and the now. In other words, I roll in the right trajectory. So what you're not doing is you're not identifying, you're not taking the time when you're feeling off, interfered with, right? You're not taking the time to identify what it is, a need to be right, offended, separate, inferior, superior, whatever it is, is it your sleep? You're not sleeping your body right. Is it you're not eating your body right, feeding your body right? What are the triggers? Then stop, breathe, get back to center, and then think about, okay, what do I want personally? Oh, I want more sleep. What do I want experientially? Oh, I want more sleep. What do I want to give? I want to give more to others.
Shit, you froze.
I better get some rest, more money. Oh, I better rest. You're not sleeping right or eating right, or maybe the lights aren't right. But in order to indicate yourself feel jet lag Instead, you're trying to resist the jet lag by saying, I'm not tired. I'm going to go, I'm not jet lagged. I'm identifying it, clearing it out of the way, and, connecting through and to that great source that you're always connected to.
Gotcha. I have bits and pieces.
Cool.
And real quick, no matter where you go, even if it's the other side of the country, you do have a sleep regimen. You told me, right?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I could, Theo. Hey, Theo, I have a question. So no matter where you go, you have a sleep regimen, right?
I said if it becomes an issue, then, well, hold on. I just moved out of the way. I'm going to find a new place today. There you go.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
There you go. I was going to say, too, what are you doing to cause, you to be jet lagged instead of trying to fight through the jet lag and then.
Ah, crap.
And like finding a sleep.
Dude, you're breaking up again.
Yeah, Dave, it's chopping up. You know.
Are we good now?
You know what? I'll hang up and then another time when you have time, I'll bother you about the same question. Love you.
Hey, I'm gonna log back.
Oh, hi everyone.
You accidentally clicked yourself off, Dave. Just 1 second, Jessie. He's having some connection issues, so he'll be back on.
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
Thank you, everyone. Sorry. Thank you for your patience.
A lot better?
You're a little frozen right now. Test. Give me some tests.
Testing 1, 2, 3. I don't know what the hell.
There we go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right.
Let's try Jessie.
All right, cool.
Hi.
Hello.
Good morning. How are you?
Thank you, everyone, for your patience. I didn't invent the internet. Dan Quill did. And he also saved us from the insurrection. So he's an incredible human being. I'm going to write a book about Dan Quill. I'm kidding.
Awesome.
Go ahead.
Okay. So yesterday, I saw my psychic that I haven't spoken to in a while. She was actually the first person that sorry about New York City. She's actually the first person that I ever interacted with about this stuff. Anyway, she said, and you know how time doesn't exist and it's all just like based on your, you say that it's based on your perception, but she says that it's gonna take about a year for my business to start making real money. It's just based on my energy.
Yeah, that's pretty fast.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you think that's fast?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was kind of upset. I was like, a year? That's just long to me, but maybe not to other people.
Well, it's long for you because it's like 1/24th of your life. It's 1/53rd of my life. It's probably 160 something of your life. So. Time's irrelevant. You know what? What if I told you it was going to take 100 years? Would you? Would you stop?
Probably.
Yeah, I would, but that's all right.
Okay.
Enjoy the consistent, persistent pursuit of your potential.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Okay, I have to go, but thank you so much.
All right. That's a fast time zone to make money. That's good. That's fast. I love it. All right. Shosh.
Oh, great. Jumped in. ahead. How are you, David?
Yeah, I'm doing awesome. How are you?
Yeah, doing amazing, and thanks for your persistence as well during the connectivity issues to always be accessible with us.
Gotta do it.
um, so yeah, I've been I've been dedicating a minimum amount of time really reading around sort of decentralized systems, and it's made me like super interested thinking about how humans behave, like what is money and things like that around looking at it. But the reason I was just mentioning it, it sort of put a light in terms of what you talk about around the values, because as I was studying more about every single organism, even a single cell, has to move forward in some way. And the only way they move forward is by creating a value framework to move towards, like a set of values that you do. So it just sort of illuminated what you spoke about around really the importance of taking values at the beginning. And a question I had, just more as you're doing things and you're being accessible of who you can help and who can help you. How do you find that who? Is there a process that you do in terms of certain areas?
Well, I asked for the who, right? So the nice thing about today is there's in person, on the phone, via email, media, to ask, do you know anyone that can help me? So once you know your what, it's easy to find the who, because it's a very light ask to ask people, do you know anyone that can help me? And I asked Google, do you know anyone that help me? I asked LinkedIn if you know anyone that can help me. I asked Instagram, do you know anyone that help me? On stages, I asked, you know anyone that can help me? So I just have become very proficient in asking for who.
Great. Yeah, no, I think absolutely spreading that out as much as possible. And I've also heard you, when you speak about mindset, it's around the meaning, creating the meaning, and finding love, light, and lessons. And I know it's an element of a practice, like a muscle, like anything else. How did you create any structures to be very habitual about that and be very almost militant, to be like, okay, I'm creating an empowering meaning for everything, because perception's your co-pilot as such. How are you cognizant moment to moment with creating that meaning? Oh, might have just frozen there. Hi, David, can you hear me?
1 second, Shosh. Sorry
Yeah, no
about
problem.
that. Thank you for your patience.
No, not at all.
We're doing our best, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to find a new spot.
We can hear you now, Dave. You're good now.
All right, good. All right, so it's unwinding routine puts my mind, body, and soul in the position to plateau and grow. And then being and using the 5 daily practices are what allow me to be habitual, because incorporated in there is knowing what I want, who can help me, who can I help, and the student of the calendar, right? When I'm studying the activity I plan, don't have planned, and my sleep for the next day, the unwinding routine, everything that is most important to me does not get overlooked or passed over. And so I become habitual at tracing calligraphies and, my prayers, doing what, it is. And, that's how consistently. And then, through that process, I'm finding the light, the love, and the lessons in the activities I get paid for, which is a lot more challenging than most people, because they can't even find the light, the love, and the lessons in activity they don't get paid for, which I find absolutely ludicrous. So utilizing the 5 daily practices puts you into a secular plateau and grow habitual. I call it the habit machine, those 5 daily practices. So for me, any day I could say, I want to create this habit. I want to create a habit of, combing my eyebrows, and I put it in the habit machine. It's now a priority. So I definitely will comb my eyebrows every day, because I have a structure, a habit machine, of 5 daily practices that effectuate what's most important to me. And I do it now. So 100% of the things I do now get done.
Oh, just got you back. Yeah.
Dave, the last thing we heard was 100% of the things that you now get done.
And so I don't fall into the trap of focusing in on, procrastination, laziness, jet lag. These are interferences. They're not actual activities. They're not characteristics. So use the 5 daily practices and you'll have a habit machine.
Awesome. And just a final question, David, is this Friday, Saturday, we're opening up in live events. I've got a company presentation, and I'm very excited. There's probably about 15,000 people coming around through it. It's a 25-minute slot, and I know you gave some really useful insights about using lessons and things to do. I'm a little bit anxious I've been so used to doing presentations on Zoom and having cues as well. Like in terms of they're not also, because it's company presentation, they're not necessarily personal stories of mine to remember. But what's the best methods you have of just essentially memorizing content and presentations to go out there?
I memorize the lessons and I put a note of the story. So once I associate a lesson with a story, then I memorize what lessons I'm going to tell, and then I incorporate a note of the story. So be more interested than interesting. Brother's story in the hospital. Just because someone loves you doesn't mean they give you good advice. Mom telling me the internet's a fad. My jacket story about money doesn't buy love or happiness. That's all I need to know. And then that's what makes this story so good, is that if I just have a note of the story, I haven't memorized the story, I'm always telling the story differently. And I'm always remembering, reminding, and recollecting the story differently. Always true, because it's my perception of what happened. But nonetheless, the story changes, and people have heard they'll even actually, kind of like your favorite movie, tell me the jacket story, Daddy. That's the way I feel sometimes, because they want to hear that lesson. So just know your lessons and notate the stories.
Yeah, and I suppose that can work even if it's not a person, if it's like you're doing it for a corporate, that you can still
do it for corporations all the time, right?
Yeah.
I do it for corporations. I do it with time, right? I do refocus, and the story about golf and refocus, or the SAP, the guy whose son had had autism, and he realized that his employees would not test software very well because they can't do the same thing again and again and again. But his son loved to do things again and again and again because he was on the spectrum. So he hired thousands of people and empowered them with hundreds of thousands of dollars. I have all the stories, but know the lessons, notate the stories. Okay.
You're the man, David, and I loved how you brought Alex from Celsius as well the other day on introducing that to your audience and mixing.
Yeah, man, he's amazing. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, David.
Awesome. Dan.
Good morning, David.
Indiana internet sucks.
So you're in Indiana now, not Detroit?
No, yeah, I'm in Bloomington.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry I have to miss you. We're moving our son to Chicago today.
Nice.
Yeah, we're very excited. I think there's some underlying sadness though, because
that's separation, not sadness.
Yeah. Hell of a kick you saw yesterday.
Oh my gosh, I never videotape anything, and I had a feeling because it was Tucker. It was the Chargers kicker. They were going to give him a 20-yarder. They went for it on 4th and 9. But with Tucker, I brought out my phone and I zoomed in, and oh my God, I've never caught something that's that significant in sports on my camera. I can't even catch my son running a touchdown. Like, oh my God.
No, that was awesome. So speaking of travel, I'm considering doing some. My wife and I have done some travel in the car and kind of kept to ourselves, but I see your travel schedule is kind of like it used to be pre-COVID.
Yeah.
I'm considering going to a mastermind event in Florida. There'll be about 35 of us in the room for a couple days. But my son had that breakthrough COVID case. We're just still a little freaked. I don't know if there's anything you're personally doing to just feel comfortable about it, or are you just like...
Yeah, faith. Right. I got vaccinated, so I have faith in my immune system. I have faith in the vaccination. I have faith, that the way God feels about me is the way I feel about my children. So he's only going to let what I need to know, that's going to better me happen to me. So I'm not going to limit something I want. If I have a desire, a desire is a divine feeling. If I have a desire to empower over 1 billion people, and the best methodology is to get out there on the road and do meetups and get content and, learn myself so I can articulate the quantitative value of what I do better, I will do everything to my disposal to listen and learn. But I have faith, and it's interesting because regardless of what happened to your child, if my child, something would happen to, and all I did was focus, and I want to do that because that happened to my child. That seems to be the counterintuitive approach of faith, because for me, it's like, oh my gosh, my child survived this and learned these lessons, and I learned even a greater lesson because I'd rather it have happened to me than them, because therefore, Source has taught me a lesson. Now I'm going to use that lesson, and I'm going to expand and grow, etc. That's the way I see it personally. But you need to get over not wishing for what you don't want, what's missing, what you're afraid of, and focus in on what you do want, and have faith that there's this source that feels about you like you feel about your son, except for they know everything and you know very little.
Right. Awesome. Real quick, remind me your 3 strikes rule. It's like the
3
when
no's.
What's that?
3 no's. Yeah, and so there's 25 no's when you're stimulating interest. So when you're kind of making an original ask, you got to think to yourself, oh good, I'm getting closer. I've only got 14 people that said I'm not interested. I'm getting closer. I'm almost there. It's kind of like it's going to take a year to make money, and just like, that's good. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, grow up and ask me and Dan how long it takes to make money. Yeah. So then 2, the 3 no rule is when you're engaged with somebody.
Right.
And and you have a situation where they told you to call you back or whatever. Usually it falls down because you haven't managed expectations and created a go, no go plan. But even if you have, and somebody doesn't show up, or you get a flat tire, or you forget, something happens, that's 1 no. Or they tell you not now, that's 1 no. Then go back, something happens again, that's 2 no's. On the third no is the crucial one, is say, hey, obviously this isn't the right time, or emotionally you're not ready for this, or I haven't articulated the value. Please give me a call back when you're ready. And thank you so much for your time. 50% of the time you've accelerated the sales cycle because we'll call you back and you've had difficulty getting in touch with them. 50% of the time, and these are, make up numbers, a certain percent of the time, I call it 50-50. 50% of the time, the person never calls you. And that's the really valuable one, because the one you accelerated, you're going to get that deal done anyway. You just accelerated, so it has a minimal value. The one that never calls you back, every minute time, every second that you would have spent thinking about them, calling them, you could spend on someone that has an open mind, open heart, and open hands towards what you do.
So I'm not sure if I'm in the second or third no. Let me real quick, the specific example, there's a gentleman in Chicago. He's part of a small VC firm that specializes in consumer goods. We actually had a Zoom call, about 25-minute Zoom call. He said it might not be a good fit, but hey, I'd love to have an excuse to go into my office. If you're going to be in Chicago, maybe we can get together. So did a follow-up, and he said there were some other people he was going to show my materials to. Did a follow-up email about a week ago, no response, and then sent an email yesterday saying, hey, I'm going to be in Chicago for the next 2 days.
Do you have his cell phone?
I do not. I just have his email.
All right. So number one thing, ask for his cell phone next time.
Okay.
If someone says, hey, I want to meet you in my office, maybe, then say, terrific, can I get your cell phone so I can call you, a week before to check in, to get a time and date. Then when you call, right, you can leave. Nobody gets voice messages. How many voice messages do you have on your phone right now?
I never even looked.
Yeah. How many emails you have? I promise you have more than one, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Right. Yeah.
So there's where you made strategically your mistake, right? Is you didn't, get a go, no go plan. You didn't get the right information to make it easy for you. You're stuck with, complete, talk about the gatekeeper of the world, text messages and emails. Oh my gosh. Someone can always just say, sorry, I didn't see it. Oh, it must have gone to junk. Right. So voicemails are hard. So they put a little bit more of a impetus on telling the truth of whether he's going to waste your time or not. So I would try to find the number for him if you know what company he works for, the VC, et cetera. And you're on number 3. So call him, say, hey, coming into Chicago, this maybe not be the right time, or may not be right for you. But if you know anyone, or if it is, please give me a call back ASAP. Thank you so much for your time and consideration.
And
You
then
may or may not, you might accelerate it, but you just let it go.
Okay.
Don't waste
All
any
right.
more energy and emotion. Okay. Good
Got it.
example. Thank you. Right on. Bonnie.
Morning.
Good morning. Is that a winter coat I see?
Yes, it is. I was waiting to see if, yeah, it was 50 degrees.
East Coast peoples. Oh my goodness. Bonnie has her winter coat. It's like the Groundhog Day. I checked to see the day she wears a winter coat. Now I know shit's coming back east.
Yeah, it's funny because it was last week it was 85, dropped down to like 45, and then went back up to like 75. We had like a cold front come in, a storm, and all that crap. So it is what it is. Supposed to be 80 today though.
Okay.
So
It'll
it's just
warm up.
Pittsburgh for you. Yeah. Anyways, so I don't know. Feels like an odd question, but I think I kind of already know the answer to it. And it's more just kind of bringing light to a situation. So I was having a conversation last night and I was just talking about, so my launch, I pushed it till 10/10 and I didn't even realize the significance of the date until somebody pointed it out to me, which was pretty cool. But I pushed it because I've never done this marketing and launch thing before. And I realized how much more was involved than I originally thought there was. So, but in the conversation, it was like, I just feel at ease knowing that like I'm planning for a 10K plus launch, but if it doesn't happen, I'm not going to be devastated. I'm going to figure out what I need to do better for next time and move on, kind of thing. And then it was weird. It was like, I feel very at ease, very calm, which is a good thing, right? But as soon as I brought attention to it, I woke up this morning, the anxiety kicks in. Now I'm teaching this stuff, so I know what to do, but it's interesting. And I'm wondering if you've ever experienced, and I think it maybe has to do with the fact that, please close the door. It's cold outside. That, I lived in chaos and struggle for so long. When things calm down, it still feels somewhat foreign. So I'm wondering, besides the stuff that I'm teaching and anxiety, like I know how to kind of combat that, work with that part of it and feel calm about it. But how to get more comfortable with the ease and the calm. And I know that sounds kind of strange because I'm teaching people to be calm. They want to feel calm, but then when the calm comes, it's almost
take
like,
action.
what do I do with this?
When you're in the calmness, take action. So remember, emotions cannot be overcome with the way we think. So when things are calm, that's when we start thinking the most, right? And we want to make sure that we put our attention and intention into what we want. So activity is the best thing to do. So when we can be most productive when we're in calm, right? When we're in neutral, when we're at ease, not dis-ease. See, your norm for so long of your life was disease. You lived in dis-ease. Now, when you're in ease, this is when you lean in and use all of the energy that you used to fight the dis with. Instead, use all that energy to pick something that you want and use it to get that 10x or whatever. But you got to take action. You can't think about it. There's nothing to think about when you're at ease. That's the best part about it. You need to focus, put attention and intention on what you want, and use that time because trust me, once you start taking action and getting yourself back into the learning zone, there'll be more interference for you to start, learning about, and it'll be exciting and fun again. But you will exponentially grow by using the time of ease to take action.
Okay, yeah, I've been doing, I had to learn Kajabi to do this. So I've learned Kajabi, written the program, done all these other things in less than 6 weeks. But yeah, it was just, it's still foreign sometimes to feel like that. So that's how I ended up realizing that I had so much more to do, because I had to learn and investigate, and it was like, what do I need for a successful launch, and marketing, and who do I need to be talking to, and all that other stuff. But I appreciate that. It was one of those late night, early morning. I woke up at I got woken up at 3:00 this morning, and I was like, something just felt off. Yeah. So I appreciate the suggestions, and maybe next time I'll just get up at 3 and start moving on stuff. Instead of trying to go back to sleep.
But I do. So thanks.
All right. Thank you.
Stay warm. All right, the incredible Dr. B. What's going on, buddy?
I'm talking to you from London, England, Dave.
I'm in Bloomington and you're in London. You got Paddington and Bloomington here.
There you go. So, thanks. So here's what's happening. 25 years ago, I started a nonprofit called the Singers Gym, and it's a training workshop for opera singers, not vocal production, but actually connecting to what they're singing. We've trained probably 500 or 600 people in that time. We went down about 3 or 4 years ago because of the 2 teachers I had, they moved and one retired, and then COVID hit. So now we have an opportunity on October the 24th for having a live stream benefit. And I've set up the whole thing. The 2 singers are great. I have a coworker who's fabulous. And actually a lot of people at the San Francisco Opera who, it's fairly where they get a lot of funding, they know him. So here's my 2 questions. One is, I want to get the word out about this. Our mailing list is way too old. I can use my own mailing list, which I'm doing, but I want to really hit up the people at the opera, and I have access to a mailing list for those people. Somebody will send it out for me. My question is, 2 questions. One is, how much can I pepper them before the event without, driving people like away? That's number 1 question. Number 2 question is, when I send out, or they send out this information, they're going to say, here's the event, save the date, time, place, that. But they have to, in some way, connect with us so we can send them the Zoom link. So I don't know how to do that, short of having maybe a landing page or something. I'm not sure how to do that. So those are 2 questions about that thing.
Yeah. So 1, I would pepper them with content, not ask right now. So,
right. Okay.
I would just raise their awareness with whatever you feel gives them more awareness to the opera singer or the cause.
Good.
And you can't pepper them enough because, that's how you get attention. Then, for me, about, a certain amount of time that you feel is thing, give a save the date.
Yeah.
Then within the 2 weeks of their, make the ask. So, and then as far as how it works, the best thing to do is talk to Mike, because we do webinars every week with Zoom, and I don't know the technicality of it, but Mike will tell you how through Zoom they send out the Zoom link.
Okay.
Or Thinkific, or could depend on how detailed you want to go. But Mike can quickly tell you, what we do and what you can do, and then you could choose what you want to do.
Yeah, that's great. And where is Mike?
Mike is M. Allen at D. Meltzer. Mike, come on here real quick if you're here. Is he here? Yeah.
M. Allen.
What's up, Dr. B?
Hey, Mikey.
Good evening, man. Thanks for the book again. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. Oh, yeah, there you are. Wow. Okay, cool. Mikey Allen at D. Meltzer.
Yeah, M. Allen. M-A-L-L.
It's M. Allen. M.
It should be in your inbox already.
Yeah, I have it. Okay,
at the,
I'll be in touch with you right away, Mikey. Thank you. Okay, David, thank you. That's great. So here's another issue.
Thank you.
Thank you. You said goodbye to me? That was it?
No, I'm good.
Dave?
I'm here.
Okay. All right.
You see me?
So yeah, I can see you. Okay, I got you. You remember a while back I was trying to see this real estate mogul in New York, right? And I did the 3 thing and nothing happened. But I'm going back and I feel like, fuck, I want to, do it again. So what do you? I have access to his assistant or something. Yeah, I can get. So I just want to say, hey, I'm back in New York. I want to see him. What do you think?
That's what I'd say. Hey, I'm back in New York and I want to see him, and say,
Beautiful.
I'm available. I'd give him 3 times that you can stop by, and then see how they respond to those 3 times.
Okay, great. All right, excellent. Dave, fabulous. See you soon. Okay.
From
bye.
Paddington to Bloomington, we got it covered. That's Dr. B and Dr. D. And now we got Joey. Look at that dude, buddy. You're looking good, man.
Thanks, brother. It's working. How you doing? What a Chargers on Detroit game yesterday. Unbelievable.
Oh my God, it was so amazing.
I saw you both that game. I couldn't believe it.
I couldn't either. It was so good. Anyway, and it was so odd. It was so odd that I was there, right? Like it's neither of my team. And then the people like that came to see me, it was just awesome. Anyway, what's going on? Last caller.
So I don't know if you know if you have an answer on the spot for this, but I've been thinking about this for a while. We've been talking for a little bit now, and I would love to know your perspective on myself in terms of when I first started talking to you and asking you for help. I'd love to know what you think of my transition, if there has been a transition, if there's been a regression, or if, you know, what else I need to work on that you see from a second perspective that I may not.
Yeah. So I get this question a lot. So I can easily answer it.
Okay.
Number one, it does not matter what I think, but I'm going to tell you what I think. But I want everyone, it does not matter what I think. I do not know what I don't know. I am not the omniscient, all powerful, all knowing source. I will give you my shared experience with you, which is extremely limited compared to who you are. Number one, everyone that works with me is progressing. You have not, just via the collective consciousness of working with everyone.
So you cut out there. I apologize.
Maybe you cut off after you said progressing.
No, yeah, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now, Joey?
Yeah. All good. Oh, there we go.
I think it's my StreamYard because like everything else is moving fast on my computer. When I hear me, I'm gonna get this answer to you. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
All right, hold on.
Oh,
Dave, you froze right before you started.
it's all good. At least we get some one-on-one, Matt. This never happens.
I wish I had the answer for you.
Other than the hat, that's a tough one to wear.
I hate that hat. I don't hate many things, but I hate that hat. 66-yard field goal. That'll really crush me. Anyway, so everybody's progressing. This is a collective consciousness. And what I see is you're starting to find the meaning inside of you, but you're still too afraid to be wealthy, healthy, and happy yourself. You need to figure out for you what you're doing for interfering. Don't worry about what know, but all I know is you're progressing and you're happier. Your energy is much better on this call, and you probably have your frequency and your awareness to things, and you're starting to look within, which is why when people start that I'm looking within, what do you see? You know, that we're insecure about it. We want to know from people that we like, or we feeling like I'm growing. Is this a good thing or a bad thing? You give meaning to everything you see. This is, and you are worthy. You're starting to figure out what you're doing to interfere with it, and you're figuring out health, your wealth, and your worthiness. You are accelerating, and you'll continue to aggregate and compound on that. You're doing great, even though it doesn't matter what I say. My perception is you're doing great. Keep on digging inside of you. You'll find more about what you want outside of you.
Okay, perfect. For the things that didn't cut out, I heard everything.
Yeah, and feel free to call me on my cell phone because I'll tell you that again, and I'll tell you that again because it's important to me. So okay. You have my cell phone number?
I don't have your cell phone number.
Yeah, everybody can. Is it 85? I know Laurie does. She called me once in a while. 858-688-3294. Oh, did that break out? 858-688-3294.
Okay, perfect. I'll get. It's a particular time, obviously.
Right now. You call me right now, and I'll tell you. Okay.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's important to me. Okay. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. I Don't apologize. Thank you for your patience. I don't control the internet. Dan Quill does. I'm just teasing. Anyway, and he wears Dallas Cowboy hats too. I will talk to you later. I love you. Be kind to your future self. Do good deeds. Thank you.